Hello guys and welcome back to MonLabo Linux. This is the fifth video in the series of Helm chart. So today we're going to be talking about a really interesting concept, how to get data from a file, okay, within a Helm chart. So without further ado, let's get started, okay? So today we want to be able to not get the content directly from the YAML file like this, okay, but from the uh, a file, okay, that Helm will get. All right. So how do we do that? You might be asking the question. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. So this content, okay, I'm gonna copy that. All right, and then I'm gonna remove it. So I'm gonna copy that and then put that into a file. Okay, so let me just put that back like this for now and then come here. All right, so to do that you have to go into the root directory of the Helm chart, okay, of the Helm chart here, and then put a name. So you click here and then you put a name underneath it, and for example you can call that files, and then within files we're gonna create our index.html file, okay, and voila. So now we're gonna paste our content there, okay, and just make sure that we don't have anything. So here when you put like this, I'm not sure if you can put the yeah, I think you can do that, but what we will do is we're gonna leave it like this for now, okay. We are not going to put any Helm templating engine inside, okay. We're just gonna leave it like this. All right, and now here I can finally get rid of this. All right, so now that I've okay, now that I've removed that, all right, so that AI is trying to guess what I will type, but no way. So now that I've done that, here I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it like this and put something and say that, hey, I want you to retrieve something for me, okay, on the file slash, and then okay, you guessed it this time, index.html. All right, so now that's how put it out here. All right, and then within the config map, where is that again, on the template, right? So on the template within the config map, I will now come here, and we are no longer gonna have to deal with this one, okay. We're just gonna replace that by okay, sorry, what am I saying? So we're just gonna replace that by this, okay. So values dot config map dot html, okay. So that means that it's going to be like this, but it's not done yet. So here we need to put something, okay. Oops, not like that. So we need to put something here. So Helm has an interesting function called and it's part of the it's called get, okay, get function, but it's part of the file which is part of the top level object, okay. So we're going to type this dot files, okay, and then if we type get dot, okay, you will see here that we have multiple stuff that we can use with it, and then we are going to use get. All right, and now when you type get, you put the name of the file here within the code, for example, within the code. So this values dot config map, okay, dot index html will come over there and then grab this guy here. All right, so if we want to see if that worked, let's go ahead and check with Helm template. So now I'm going to open this and go ahead and do Helm template, and then we'll hit enter, and I can see that I'm having an error already. So what is the error? It says raw number of argument for get. So he wants 1, but he got 2. So let's go ahead and check what's going on with that. So if I come here, I will see that I have this, which is coming from the .tpl. So I'm gonna remove that, okay? And then come back and try again. And as you can see, we have something. And the most interesting part for this is to look at the config map and see that we have our config map. That is wonderful. Okay, so we have our config map there, which is wonderful, and it has our content. So we are able to read this. Sorry about that. We are able to read the content of this file, which is here, and pass that into the config map. So I see that I have something like this. So I will just align that perfectly because it was reflecting into the config map as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. So hit enter a couple of times, and then we'll do this. So if you see that again, now I think it's aligned perfectly well. So you will see that we have the index.html document here. Now let's go ahead and try to deploy that and check. Okay, so before we deploy, I just want to make sure that I put the 5th video, okay, the 6th video, but the 5th one has not been uploaded yet, so we're gonna say current again. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. So to do that, I will just come here, open that, and come to the table section here. All right, and then the table row will copy and copy that, and then down here I will paste it again. So here we're going to call that 6, and here we're going to call this 6, and here 6 as well, and we say current again. Okay, so we say current again, but this time we are going to get into the content into the pod and see where it has copied that. Okay, all right, because we did not do that from the previous video. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make sure that it is now part of the Helm template. So now if we check here, we see that we have the 6 current again. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and load that. So let's try to do install. Okay, and call this, call that, and do enter. All right, we have it deployed. Okay, so we agree that it can be deployed, but we still have the resources that are not properly created, right? So we say show resources. Okay, and then we see that effectively pods are running just fine. They are so happy. Okay, we have our config map that we can verify. So I was to copy this and do something like CTL. Okay, and then I can see that it has the number 6 now. Okay, which is quite good. Now let's go ahead on over the server. Let's head to the server and check that here. So we will do minikube. Oops, you can type minikube tunnel again, and then we're gonna wait, and it needs my password. And I think it's already running. So now we will go ahead and open the browser, and then we will come here and say localhost again. All right, and as we can see, we have our 6-row table row that has been added, and it's very nice. Okay, so current again because I did not upload this video yet. All right, so now let's go ahead and check if and check where the that was mounted into the container. Okay, so if we were to do show resources again, and then here we take the name of the pod. Okay, and we do kubectl exec. Nice. So we will do this and then hit enter, and as you can see, we are now within the container. Okay, so this is the container. So if I was to do ls minus l, so I will see that this is the content. For some reason, I don't know, these people, I don't really like this. To be honest, they have to remove this thing because it's kind of messy. Okay, so messy again. So now we are going to go to this direction called usr/share slash nginx slash html, and then from here we will just do ls minus l, and see that we have two indexes file. Okay, we have one that was created today, if you can see here. Okay, and so it was created today. Usually containers have 5 hours in advance to your local environment, to your local machines. So it means that it was created at 1320. Okay, yeah, so on our local machine. So here you can see. All right, so I can even use maybe command like files, but that's not what we want to see. So if I type cat on index.html, you will see that it's not the default nginx index file that's there, but it's this file with this content inside, which is great, right? Which is great. So if you like what you see, okay, or before you like what you see, so let's go ahead and remove everything, right? So let's go ahead and shut down this. So you just do Control C here. If you were following me from the previous video and you didn't know how to do that, just do Control C and the tunnel has been closed, and then you can come back and do you can exit from this guy, and then you can do uninstall here. Okay, so just do uninstall, and it has been uninstalled, and now we are good. So I will have another video where I will talk about a really interesting topic, but stay tuned. Okay, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell. Bye bye.